I heard both of you mention over the last couple of questions about disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to ask, how would someone support a child with sexualised behaviour that has a disability?
Mm-hmm.
What would that look like?
We get very creative.
Mm-hmm.
So we have quite, over the last nearly 8 years that I've been in the children's service, at any given time, I don't know how many we'd have, but we see a lot more children on the spectrum, children who have an intellectual disability, low social functioning, and when we work with those children, we're just developing a way of interacting with them and getting the messages across that we need to at their level. So we do a lot of creative things with visuals, stories, social stories, play. Kids come in, the natural thing that they do when they come to us is play. We've got playrooms set up. So we use a lot of play and games. It might happen through games. And then the parent or caregiver in the children's service is almost always there. Not every time, but almost always part of the session. So we really equip them for how to carry on those ideas at home as well. But sometimes it's even a visual of like 3 points, and there might be a red circle with a line through it in terms of no bottoms touching or something. And we work with the schools. We support the school as well, particularly if behaviours happened at the school. Do you have other thoughts?
I was just thinking it kind of highlights that, you know, all children, regardless of developmental challenges and things that, you know, we need to adjust our messaging and our responses accordingly. It's like some kids will ask lots of questions, you know. From age 3 they're asking all sorts of questions, and those questions continue, but not all children ask questions. Some are very quiet, and but all children need to have those safe adults in their lives to talk about boundaries, to talk about safe hands, to talk about how precious and special they are. And, you know, we've done a lot of that over the last few years in terms of talking about personal space, and it's a kind of an extension. You know, we're good at talking about not pulling hair and not kicking and not biting and not hitting, but I think our encouragement also is for adults to also talk about how precious our bodies are, and because of that, we don't play bottom games. We don't look at people's bottoms. So the
privates are private.
Yeah, the messaging is quite simple, but I think it's a big topic. It's a big topic that for, you know, that many adults don't know quite where to start, how much to say, and look, the reality is, for every family, for every whānau, depending on their values, depending on how they do life together, depending on what goes on in their home, you know, they will have a good sense of what their child needs also. And it's part of the mahi that we do, isn't it, Betty? Like, we'll speak to parents and caregivers and professionals, sometimes 15, 20 phone calls a week, just to kind of give guidance about how to approach these conversations.